We got West Virginia, Iowa State, rotation number on SBR odds, 175, 176. Looks like 6.5. West Virginia laying. It's 56 the total in Ames, Iowa. Big man, you want to start us off with this Big 12 matchup?
Yeah, I think West Virginia is a team that we have to start talking about. I mean, again, we're going to learn about them a lot going forward. A lot of their games are backloaded where you're going to have to go and play Texas in Texas. You're going to have to play Oklahoma. That game is at home. Texas is, or West Virginia's just kind of building the wins, okay? They're playing well. Will Greer's been terrific. We're going to find a lot about them late. If they're able to do some good things, why can't they get to the playoff? This team, if you go undefeated, beat Oklahoma, Texas, some of these teams, I mean, you're going to have to give them a look at some point. This is a dangerous game. As an underdog, Iowa State are very good. This team just gets it done as a dog, covering 18 of 24 against the number. They're very good against the spread. But I often wonder, I mean, can they hang in a shootout? Because they're going to have to score points. And, Kyle Kemp and Iowa State in this offense, they're only averaging about 330 yards a game. They're not very good on offense. Their defense is going to have to play really tough in this game. And when you're facing a team like West Virginia, who's, I think, kind of looking forward to this game, going on the road and taking care of an opponent that is generally tough at home, I wonder about Iowa State. I mean, their only wins this year, a good win against Oak State, but I think we all are well aware that the Cowboys aren't anything special. But you know what? They put up 48 points in that game. So why can't they hang with West Virginia? It's a dangerous game. I think a lot of people are just going to bet West Virginia because it's under a touchdown. I want no parts in betting against Iowa State and Ames. They just seem to put some magic together week after week at home.
Yeah, weird things happen in Ames, Iowa. And I'll tell you, when I first looked at this game, seeing a 6.5, it kind of jumped out at me. Like, man, this is short. West Virginia is a top 10 team. But sure enough, it's in Ames, Iowa, on the road, well-coached defensive football team. I'm off of this. I haven't played it yet. Asher, what are you thinking of what happens in Ames, Iowa?
Yeah, this one was, you guys touched on a lot of things. It's like, how do you not pick Iowa State at home against a ranked opponent? Because I did everything I could to convince myself to want to take Iowa State in this one. But perhaps the biggest head scratcher for me, and the reason why I want no part of this, is I have no idea who's going to be a quarterback for Iowa State on Saturday. It could either be Nolan, it could be Clem, it could be Purdy, who had the big day most recently for the Cyclones. You just don't know who's going to be under center for Iowa State. With that said, how about this one, guys? Iowa State only converted 34% on third downs this year. West Virginia's converted 57% of them. Will Greer has only been sacked 11 times. But with just so much uncertainty at who's starting on Saturday for Iowa State, I'm avoiding this one altogether.
But here's what I will say about this game. I mean, you have to ask yourself, first of all, do you trust West Virginia on defense? Because I'll tell you what, I don't. I watched them against Texas Tech. This team's all over the place. They were playing not to lose in that game, and it almost came back to hurt them. The Red Raiders are right in that game to the end. I think it's got to be Purdy. And you look at Brock Purdy, 18 for 23, 318, and 4 touchdowns. I mean, you have to ask yourself, what do they really need to do, Iowa State? They hung with Oklahoma. They hung with Iowa, even though they lost by 10. They hung with Texas Christian in Texas Christian. They beat Oklahoma State. What else does this team need to do? I mean, they're hanging around week after week and are in games year after year. They're well coached, and they do get the job done. And you've seen Brock Purdy can move the football. I'd love to get 7 here. I want no parts of betting against this team at home because we've seen it time and time again. Remember last year against Oklahoma? I do.
Hey, big man, let's just get to this elephant in the room here when it comes to Iowa State, because I need to understand how Brock Purdy was their third option at quarterback to start the year after the game he's had. I want to know what is going on in Ames that it took him this long to get to Brock Purdy, because the other two were a no-go factor for me. So what is happening, and why is this a controversy? Why are we not know who the starter is? That's the biggest thing for me, because if Brock Purdy is your best quarterback and he was your third option, I don't know what I'm missing here.
I guess that is a great point. I can't seem to put my finger on it. I don't know myself. I mean, maybe the fact that he's a freshman and they wanted to ease him into the offense, and they said, you know what, let's give this kid a shot. I mean, I'm reading a lot of. I read an article from the Des Moines Register or somewhere that, I mean, they look at this kid as like a big time star at Iowa State. He's from Arizona. He's a good quarterback. Yeah, you got to ask yourself what took so long. They're well coached at Iowa State. I guess they were just trying to ease the kid in. But hey, why not give him a shot? I mean, he's been fighting, he's played well. Matt Campbell, I guess, kind of just said, you know what, let's give him a shot, and he sure played well. It's a dangerous system when they start scoring points because defensively they're always very solid. I
Is he a
like the
true
decision.
freshman?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, so
And
that
Drew, let
probably
me
has
just
something to
throw.
do with it, Asher.
Well, yeah, and Drew, let me throw one more thing at you, though, too, because this is, prior to Purdy being in there, Iowa State did not have a running quarterback. In other words, one of those RPO kind of quarterbacks. The other two guys were just standing back there like trees. But against Kansas State, Delton Thompson had 12 carries for 18 yards. Skylar Thompson, 12 carries, 18 yards. Alex Delton, 8 for 28. They had the dual quarterback that day. But Texas Tech's Jeff Duffy, 15 for 86 on the ground. Again, there's just so much cross-contamination with this one for me that there's just way too many unknowns, kind of like the way I was in algebra. I'm out.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.